Hi, Interghost here. It's the end of July, so it's another pickups video.
Interghost is at the caboose. He's picking up games to show to you. He really likes to play on his Wii U. And if you think you've got a high score, well, that's what Retro Records is for. His XCOM team aren't living anymore. Him and all the dudes are singing out of tune. But your friendly YouTube hosts Interghost.
Yeah, so end of July, coming into August. Picked up a few things this month, mainly games, so that's a good one. I've got a few toys, a book, and some DVDs, so let's crack on with it. So the first ones I'm going to show you are some Switch games. The first one I got, I traded in a bunch of original Game Boy games recently, slimming down that collection a bit, keeping the good games, classic games, get rid of all the ones I'm not going to use. As you know, I don't like to keep games unless I'm going to play them. So I took them down to my local retro game shop, traded them in, got a bunch of Master System games, which are over here, which I'll show you in a minute. And along with that, I got one Switch game, and it was Tales of Vesperia, the definitive edition. Now, never played this one before. Haven't played on this one yet. I've played Tales of Symphonia. I think it was on the GameCube back in the day, and quite liked it. And they only have a small selection of Switch games in the retro shop, and this one I thought was quite good, and it was £20, so I thought I'd pick that up. And I haven't played a roleplay game for a long time, so I thought give that one a go. Now these other two Switch games I picked up, these are actually from CEX. So again, I took down some Switch games, some DVDs I had, which were worth some money. Just clearing out really. I like to clear out some stuff before I get new stuff, so I don't have to spend actual cash. And the first one I got was Mario Golf Super Rush. Now this is a game I've seen advertised quite a bit, and although I'm not a fan of golf, I've always been a fan of golf games, and obviously Mario, can't go wrong. So picked this up, played it quite a bit, and yeah, it's alright. They've incorporated a new mode where you have to hit shots in a certain amount of time, so you have to hit the ball and then run down to your next shot, hit the ball, and you've got a timer going. So that's why it's called Super Rush, because you have to basically, you can't line up your shots too much. You've got like a minute between each stroke. It's alright first time you play it, but I prefer playing the normal mode. You can play normal mode on here, where you just line up your shots and hit it and try and get it in. But yeah, it's not too bad. I think it's about 40 quid, so I wouldn't say it's worth that, but if you're going to trade in some stuff, then it's worth a go. It's quite good fun in sort of multiplayer as well. So yeah. And the second game I got, now this is really strange. I picked it up and I thought, oh yeah, that looks really tacky and rubbish. It's called Football Tactics and Glory. Look at that cover. Looks crap. But then I turned it over, and on the back it says that it's a cross between a role-play game and a management sim, and I was quite interested in that, because back in the day I used to like sort of football manager games. I'm not into football, but I liked buying and selling the players and trying to work your way up the league. And you do that in it, but also when you play the matches, it comes up on like a grid, and you put your your football players where you want them laid out on the pitch, and then it's sort of like you take 3 turns moving your characters, shooting the ball, passing, then the other team take their turns. So it's like a turn-by-turn football game. You don't have that many turns in a whole match, so it doesn't drag on and on and on, but I thought it was quite an interesting way of playing it, and yeah, I'm quite enjoying it actually. And I don't think I've lost any matches yet, so that's probably why I'm enjoying it. But yeah, it's worth picking up. I think it's only about £12, £14, something like that. So yeah, bargain. So if we go on to the Master System games, which I got, not those two, but these ones here are all the ones I picked up. 2, 4, 6, 7 games from the retro shop after trading in a whole bunch of my Game Boy games. Now these are all ones which I thought looked interesting. Like I said, I'm only buying games which I want to play or complete. So let's go through them. We got Zillion 2, which I'm not too much of a fan of. I thought it was going to be sort of like a platformer. From the back of the box it looked like a platforming shoot 'em up sort of game, but there's a lot more shoot 'em up than platforming in it. You have to drive along on your motorbike shooting at enemies before you get to a stage where you do a bit of platforming, and then you get back on your bike and if the screen scrolls along you have to shoot at stuff. So I'm not a big fan of that game, so yeah, not that great. That's a £20 one. Another £20 one, and it's a classic, and it's Streets of Rage, and this is the first one. Really interested to see what this was like. Obviously a conversion of the Mega Drive game, and yeah, it's really good fun. I completed it on my first playthrough, so it's easier than the Mega Drive version, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I think the reason it's easier is because I think you can only have sort of about 3 or 4 characters on the screen at once, so you don't get swarmed by the enemies. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing what the 8-bit version of Streets of Rage is, pick that one up as well, worth picking up. Now this one was £15, and it's Dragon Crystal. Yeah, quite interesting. I thought it was going to be a roleplay game, but it is sort of, well, it is sort of, but it's with a difference. You start in a dungeon, you've got a dragon following you around, well, a dragon egg actually, and you can't see any of the dungeon, and as you walk towards the walls they either turn solid or they open up, so the dungeons sort of appear as you're walking along. The more enemies you fight, then your dragon egg hatches into a baby dragon, and then the more you go along the bigger the dragon gets, and the idea of the game is to get the dragon fully grown and escape. And played it for a little while, really good fun, and I'll probably play that a bit more. Next one is Strider 2, really like the box art on that one, and it was tenner. And yeah, so this is a sort of platform beat 'em up. I think most people probably would have played a Strider game. You're sort of, is it a ninja? I think it's sort of like a ninja guy, and you go along and you can throw knives or you can use your sword. And yeah, I played a little bit just to try it out, and yeah, quite interesting, quite hard to control, but yeah, like it. Now next one is Populous. Now the reason I picked this one up, that was £8. I used to have this on the Atari ST back in the day, and spent loads of hours on it, and it's basically a god sim. You have your little sort of town, and your characters come out of it and they worship you as the player, and you can make the ground level go up and down. You can flatten out areas to build castles and that sort of stuff. I only had a little go on this because I couldn't really figure out the controls using the joypad. It does have the manual in here, but it's quite a big thick manual, so I will go and play this at some point, but I'm going to have to read through the instruction manual before I play it. It's not one of those games you can just pick up and play, but yeah, if it's anything like it was on the Atari ST, it's a good game and good strategy game. Next one is Aztec Adventure, another £8 game, and I've only had a quick go on this, and it is sort of like a role-play side-scrolling game, platformer game. Haven't really played too much of it, so I can't say too much, but yeah, it's not too bad, so I will be playing a bit more of that. It's something different. And finally, Rampart. Now this is another game I think I had on the Atari ST back in the day, or was it? It might have even been a Mega Drive, but I can remember playing it on another system. Oh, it might have even been the Atari Lynx actually, or I might have had it on all of them, who knows. But yeah, I definitely played this a lot when I was younger, and it's a sort of strategy game where you have to put your players on the map, build a castle, and then the time starts, boats come in and try and blow your castle up, and then time pauses, you have to reinforce your castles, and you have to shoot at the boats as well to try and destroy them. And then each time you complete a level you conquer more and more of the map, and you have to try and take the whole map over. And yeah, it's a good game, nice box art, and yeah, worth picking up that one. Now I've got 2 more Master System games. The first one is one I got again from the Retro Game Shop, but on another day I took down some loose DS games I had because I don't want them. I only like DS games in the box. Took them down, just got a few quid for them. Picked this one up. I think it's quite cheap. I think it's like another £8 game, and it's Echo the Dolphin. And yeah, this is a game I used to play on the Mega Drive a little bit, and I wanted to see what the 8-bit version is like. Played it, and it's very hard to control. You have to sort of find your way around underwater mazes. Yeah, you can use sonar, you can ram into things to kill them, but yeah, I get lost quite quickly on this game and don't really know what I'm doing. So I think it's one of those games that the more you play it, the more you remember where you're going, and you can sort of get through it like that. Yeah, so quite good, but very confusing. Now finally, this is a game I saw on eBay, and I think this game normally goes for about £90 to £100 roughly, and I saw somebody selling it on there, and it was only, I can't remember what I got it for now, £45, £50, and it is the Addams Family. Now look at that box for a Master System game. That's how they should have done boxes. Looks much better than the you know, the white ones. And this one was, it's a PAL game, but it came from France. But on the back you've got English text, French text, German text, so it's basically the European version. This is what the UK one was like anyway. So yeah, ordered it from France. It's all oh no, it's not complete. It's got the cartridge and the advertisement manual, but didn't have the insert manual. But yeah, for what, £45, it's about half the price that it normally goes for. So I'm really happy to pick up that one actually, because Addams Family, it used to be one of my favourite games on the Super Nintendo. Completed it a couple of times now, and it looked like the same sort of game. Unfortunately, it's not as good as the Super Nintendo one. Well, it is an 8-bit game, but yeah, it's very much the same sort of thing, same sort of design, looks the same, but it plays very strange. You push the button once and he does like a little jump, hold the button down, he does like a high jump, and also when he's running, the sort of momentum's a bit strange. If you don't keep the left or right held down, he'll just suddenly stop. There's no sort of like flow in his movement, so it's quite hard to get used to. I stuck with it a bit, and I've managed to do sort of, you have to collect up all your family members. I think I got 2 of them, so I think it is one of those games, the more you get used to it, more you know what you're doing, it'll get better. But it's definitely a good game compared to some of the games you get on the Master System. Would I pay sort of £100 for it? No, probably not. £40, 45, 50, yeah, that's probably more reasonable. So yeah, happy to get that one. Before I move on, this is something I picked up from the charity shop the other day, and I don't usually do this, but this is a shout out to Steve, Gashead Steve. If you like seeing people buying and selling stuff from car boot sales or charity shops to make a bit of money, then go and check out his channel. However, I don't normally do this, but I found this in the charity shop the other day, and it is a Lego Spaceman Set, and I thought it was sealed when I got it. It's new, but the box is actually open, so they have broken the seal on it, but inside the figures are still in the plastic case. So it cost me like £2, I think it was, and I got it home, and I thought if it's worth some money I'm going to sell it. If not, I'll just open it up and make the figures. Looked it up, and it's worth about £60, so that's going on eBay. I'm going to sell that. It'd be stupid to keep a box of 5 Lego figures which are worth £60, so there you go, Steve. I am a dirty reseller just like you. Before I get onto the cool toys, I'll just show you a couple of DVDs I picked up. Like I say, each month I do pick up a few DVDs each month, because you can get them for peanuts now, and I believe the prices of DVDs will go up as soon as people realise that streaming isn't all that. Now the first one I got is one I just picked up on a whim, and it is The Commuter with Liam Neeson, and yeah, I like his films. I like sort of Taken, and it's very much along that line. He's a guy on a train, and he's an ex-cop or something, and then some person says there's a bag hidden on the train, go and find it, and then he has to kill somebody, otherwise his family will die, or something along those lines. Quite interesting, not a bad film, and one I hadn't seen, so yeah, worth picking up if you can find out for like 50p. Now this one I picked up from CEX when I was down there picking up the games, and I had like a couple of quid left, so I had a look around the DVDs. And as you know, I'm watching all the Leprechaun movies at the moment. So I found this one, and it's Leprechaun 5 in the Hood. And this film is terrible. Last month I had Leprechaun 4, which was Leprechaun in Space. I watched that, and yeah, that was a bad film as well. But it does have funny bits in it, and it is a bit crazy and off the wall. This one is... it's terrible. The only good thing in this whole movie is the Leprechaun does like a rap right at the end when the credits come up. So look that up on YouTube if you want to see the best bit in this film, but don't watch it, it's terrible. Finally, I got some more Masters of the Universe origin figures. If you didn't know, there's a new Masters of the Universe Revelations TV show, a cartoon on Netflix, which came out last week. So if you're interested in that, go to Netflix, check it out. I thought it was really good fun, really enjoyed it, loved the animation, loved the story. There's a lot of people kicking off about it because it sort of centres on the 3 female characters, mainly Teela, and this is triggered a lot of people that it's not focusing on He-Man, it's more of a Teela story. But didn't bother me. I thought it was really good fun. It had loads of the old characters in it, so yeah, if you're a Masters of the Universe fan, go and check that out. So the 3 figures that I picked up, well, I say I picked up, I actually messaged my friend Populous. Go check out his channel. He lives near to Cardiff, sort of like 20 minutes, half an hour away from Cardiff in Wales, and I saw that they had in a stock of the new Masters of the Universe figures. The ones near to me didn't have these figures, so I messaged him saying, could you go and pick these up? And he very kindly said he would. So go check out his last pickup video, and he made a day of it in Cardiff, and he picked up a few bits and pieces as well. So go check that out if you want to see what he got. But while he was there, he went into Smith's and he picked up these 3 figures for me. So thanks again, Matt, for doing that. Now the first one is Faker. Now this is the evil sort of robotic He-Man. Now in the cartoon he was the same sort of colour as He-Man, so you couldn't tell who he was, but obviously when they brought him out on the figures back in the day, they had to change the colour of him so you could tell which one was the evil one, which one was the good one. And as you can see as well, he's got the Skeletor style armour on, and yeah, underneath there he's got a sort of robotic thing on his chest as well. And yeah, I think it's really cool. I love the colours of him. And so that's Faker. And he's in like Skeletor colours as well, with blue and the purple, so you can tell he is evil. Now the next one is Evil Lynn. Now I've got an Evil Lynn already, which is the original one, and she is sort of yellow and purple. Now this is it's exactly the same figure, but they changed the colours. Now these colours are the colours which they put on the re-release back in the day, in the sort of the early 90s. I think the original 80s one was the yellow one, and then in the 90s they brought out this colour, Evil Lynn. I'm not really into getting variants, but I just think this character looks really good. The colours are nice, so yeah, I really want to get that one as well, and it looks good putting them both together. Talking about variants, they have brought out another Merman figure, which is, I think they called it the Lords of Power Merman. Now they're sort of branching off with these origin figures now. Like that one had a sticker on the front showing that it's from the newer line of figures, and the other Merman figure has the LOP Lords of Power sticker on the front, and that is basically sort of like the concept art for the characters. So they brought out Merman again, but he looks slightly different from what he does on the normal figure. He's got a different head, and his arm looks different. So they're trying to re-release the same figures but looking slightly different. I'm not going to go and collect all those variants, not just yet anyway, because if they branch out too much, it's just going to make it too expensive and too big. So I'll stick to the ones which are like the old figures, and that's the whole reason I started buying them. Anyway, that's a side note. Last one I got was the classic character, and his name is Fisto because of his huge fist. And I don't know why he's got a sword when he's got a massive fist, but look at that, look at the moustache on that. So yeah, always loved the name of this character, Fisto. He's got armour which comes off as well. But yeah, another classic figure from the 80s line, and his arch enemy was Jitsu, I think his name was, and he's got like a gold hand which he chops with and he punches, so they were arch enemies. So hopefully they bring out Jitsu as well, and we can have both of them battling each other. So there we go. Thanks again, Matt, for getting those 3 figures. That's everything I got this month. Sorry it's gone on for a little bit. Please leave me some feedback in the comments below. I really like reading your comments, and I will reply to every comment I get. Thumb up the video if you liked it, thumb it down if you didn't, and if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, because that really does help, and it inspires me to do more videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next month. Bye.